Hi, Stephanie. My name is Jackie. I'm your college librarian, and I am making this quick little video tutorial to walk you through some of our library resources to answer your question. The first thing that you will see if you're off campus, and you can access all these resources off campus, is you'll be prompted for your library card number. You need your library card number. It's kind of like a gateway thing. These databases are something we pay for, so the vendor kind of wants you to have a ticket in. And the email I sent you, I did include your library card number, and it's current, so you should be good to go. So I'm not sure if you've been here before, but you'll want to go to our library homepage. To get to the library homepage, the easiest thing to do is go to bluecc.edu, the college homepage, and then click on library. I'm going to show you a couple different things. One is a tutorial on library research articles, and then also how to access our library ebook collection. Many faculty actually, both are great resources for your topic. Many faculty do require that you use research articles in addition, or actually instead of books. So I want to make sure you have access to both. So I'm going to click on this library databases link right here. And we're going to, for the most part, spend our time in top library databases. As you scroll over here, you'll see a link to ebooks. We'll go there as well. So top library databases. It sounds like from your topic that this is something that you'd want to use one of our more advanced databases for. It sounds like you want to work with an idea of the issue of longitudinal trends or changes in education for a specific condition, autism. And that's using one of these keyword databases would be best. So I'm actually going to start with Academic Search Premier here. And actually with Academic Search Premier, I'm going to do one quick thing. This is actually a company called EBSCO. Once in a while you might hear a faculty member say, oh, go do an EBSCO search. What they mean is to get into this database system. But within this database system is actually a lot of different individually topicked databases. One of which is a really robust one, Academic Search Complete. You'll see other ones. You'll see things like for newspapers, you'll see a psychological collection. The one I want to point out to you is ERIC. ERIC is an educational database. It's fantastic. It's been around for a long time. Since your topic is about education, it only makes sense that this is something that you would use. Oh, actually, I didn't realize this. You can search the ebook collection as well. Well, maybe we'll do everything at once. I don't have to take you to a separate place. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK here because we want to search all of those places at once. And I think it's fine to start broad. I think for me, it's starting broadly and then narrowing down really makes a difference. One thing with your topic that immediately, though, that you might want to consider is you've asked about autism education. You might want to specifically pick a certain point in education. You might want to decide, do you want to look at preschoolers as a demographic? Do you want to look at middle schoolers, high schoolers, college-age students? Just to help narrow it down, because that's, of course, a wide swath of students. So, but we'll go ahead and start with autism education. The other thing to think about is also how terms can be used differently. So with education, you might want to say, oh, something more specific like instructional strategies or curriculum or behavior management. Again, starting broad can help you start thinking about those ideas. And so that's why it's fine to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and click there, search, but let me just show you, as you scroll down, you do have other ways to limit your topic a little bit. So we can limit everything to English, for example, if we wanted to. If we wanted to limit to, within ERIC, specific audiences, educational level, we can do that. So just to show you other things you can do, let's go ahead and hit search, see what comes up. And we have a lot of results. We have over 7,000. So some things you can do, you can browse through, see if something's useful. One thing you can do is limit right away to time period. It sounds like you wanted to look at education over time, so maybe you do actually want to go back to 1967. I think I'm going to actually scale this up to this century, or the last 10 years, approximately 10 to 15 years. So that actually didn't cut down that much. It's, I think, a pretty hot topic these days. The other thing you can do to narrow this down a little bit is narrow down, well, do I want an academic journal article? An academic journal article is usually by professors, scholars, researchers, compared to like a magazine article, which is usually by a reporter. It can still be good information, but it's not by a scholar unless it's necessary. necessarily. The other thing you can do, I'm going to jump down here, is you could prioritize which database you want to pull exclusively from. So we can see from our ebook collection, there was 161 matches. You could click on that to limit to just those. If you wanted to just limit to articles from our education database, you could certainly do that as well. And scrolling up, I just want to point out these two subject area things. The subject areas look specifically, they can help you narrow things down. So here's a top few. I'm going to click Show More. You might want to look specifically, as I mentioned, at, well, maybe autism in children, or maybe you want to add things like autistic children education. This might be perfect, actually, to narrow down your topic. You might want to look at treatment, diagnosis, that sort of thing. You can certainly do that. You would just click one that you want to, say, for example, this one, and click Update. When you do that, they'll narrow everything down to this 384. I'm not going to do that just yet, because I also want to show you this other subject heading. Usually very similar. Sometimes this can be a little bit more detailed, so where they get to the point where they're actually talking about preschool children. Again, I'll show more. It looks similar, but it can just be that a little bit more precise. Like instead of down to behavior disorders, down to college students. Again, different population, different things that treatment. Again, I think that was in the other one as well. Social skills. So just something to keep in mind. I just want you to be aware of each of those. The thesaurus terms tend to be a little bit more broad, so autism in children will give you more results. Before we do any of that, let me browse through and look at some of these titles. You're going to see that it's going to give you the format. These are ebooks. With ebooks, you might want to take a look and see at the table of contents to see if there's a chapter that matches. These are all will be able to be pulled from PDF, or you can download part of it offline. You could also scope immediately to the most relevant pages in this book. So this is looking at supporting students with autism in higher education through teacher programs. This is an academic journal. In fact, let's go ahead and look at this one. This one I can tell is from the ERIC database. That information actually just went away, but it did say it on the last screen. What you'll see here with ERIC, and what I like to point out sometimes, is that in all these records you will see something like an abstract usually, which is great. You can get an idea of what the article's about before you even invest in it. You can get an idea of, well, how many pages is it? This looks like it's 6 pages. It's from 2015. Great. It's pretty current. You also get some ideas from these descriptors, what it's kind of about. It looks like it includes things like, access and personal competence. All these you can see are clickable links, which you could also then click to if you're really actually more interested in, say, I don't know, transitional programs. You can click on that and add some more terms, or again, college bound. Why I wanted to point out this database, this particular article, is that sometimes you have to dig a little bit further to get the full text. In this case, you would have to actually go to this link down here to click and access this. And most of your other searches, your availability is going to be over here on the left. So I think it's hiding a bit, so I just want to make sure you know that. If you do find an article that you want, in this case, you would have to go to this external link and print it, but you always have these great tools over here. So if you find that this is an article that you want, for example, if you click on Cite, it's going to take you to some citation guides. I'm not sure if we're using APA or MLA. If you're in a writing class, you will be using MLA. If you're in just about any other class, you're going to be using APA. So let's just pretend this is an education topic. You're using APA. There's an example of how you'd cite it. And it's usually spot on, so it's a pretty helpful tool. Again, you can always print or save any response that you get. So let's go back to our search results here. Takes a second. There we go. Let's see if we can find another one. Let me go ahead and show you an ebook, what that would look like. I'm going to click here. Again, clicking on the title. This is where you can see PDF full text to read, or EPUB. If you downloaded it, they kind of put you in this checkout system where you're actually checking out the book. But if you wanted to go through and browse the book, again, I really like looking at the table of contents, because I might find out, well, what am I really interested in? I might be really interested in creating a staff training module for working with autistic students. Great. maybe browse the introduction, maybe browse a conclusion if there was one, but you could go directly to, say, staff training. And this is what it looks like, just like how it is in the book. You can save pages, you can email pages, and again, the citation feature is right here. So very, very handy. And going back to our search, I really went back to my search. Okay, I didn't mean to do that, but let's go ahead and type this in. Autism. Oh, we don't have education. It doesn't really make a difference if you write it all in and not educare. Oh, typing. One thing I want to point out as well, let's go ahead and limit to one of these over here. So let's look at specifically, let's look at special education. Let's say we really want to look at students with, I don't know. I'm sorry, I wish you were here. We could talk about it. Let's just say we want to look at treatment specifically. I'm going to update, and now we're down to 48. Pretty handy. So let's see. Oh, the importance of early intervention for autism. Let's pretend you're interested in that. It looks interesting to me. So again, similar thing. You would click on this. You can see 2008 might be okay, a little bit older, but you can see some other things as well that really tie in. I think the PDF is right here. The same tools are here on the right. I just wanted to show you what would happen if you clicked on one of these topics. If you say you're looking at this and what you're really interested in maybe is language development, this is a clickable link. And so, but what that does, there's a pro and con to using that. The pro is that it really takes you into focused issues. So there's only 100 here. But if you wanted to look at this topic, this larger topic, children with disabilities and language, but then type in, say, intervention or type in autism. In fact, I'm going to type in this because I want to look at both autistic and autism. Putting that little star at the end adds to that. You can narrow that down a little bit further even. And now we're down to 8. We're down to 8 really precise articles that address language disorder and autism and children with autism or somewhere on the spectrum. So it can be really helpful to use this tool. And so this also searched through ebooks. So I learned something too. I think that's a new feature they added, so that's pretty great. Please don't hesitate to ask me or the library if you have any more questions. I feel like it's kind of a whirlwind overview, but I hope you get a lot from it. So great. Good luck on the rest of your searching.